I would like to invite Dev Goyal, the president, CEO, and serial entrepreneur. He has been having vast achievements in the field of technology, as well as he has done a great work in the sector, including healthcare, digital transformation. I would, without much ado, I would invite Mr. Dev Goyal, who is also happened to be your partner, to further share his thoughts and experiences. Once
Thank
again,
you so
I
much.
invite Dev.
Thank you so much, Dhaval. Nice to have everyone on Saturday morning or afternoon based on where you're at. Thanks for inviting us, Dhaval. One quick correction. I have my partner who's the president, Manish Bhardia, but yeah, I'm the founder and CEO at ThinkAI. And it's lovely to work with Dhaval on some of the cybersecurity slash manufacturing healthcare clients. Dhaval also looks after our CISO work, and very happy to have you, Dhaval, to help us out on that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
I can do a quick introduction if you like. So you did nicely present me, but I'm founder and CEO at ThinkAI. Have been working in software consulting or software solution business for about 30 years. Like Dhaval, I used to be a white hat hacker and did some security algorithms for mobile industry, for GSM networks and so on and so forth in Singapore. In US, we've been doing a lot of data and AI work. We are one of the first premium partner at Microsoft, where we were part of AI Inner Circle at Microsoft, and doing a lot of proof of concept right now on open AI and generative AI. Our focus is manufacturing and healthcare industry. While manufacturing does not look, it has cybersecurity issues. We'll talk about it. And healthcare obviously has a lot of secured information compliance needs. These are the two places where we pool data, we create solutions, and the data being the new currency and asset is always at risk on the security part. Hence the partnership with RainbowSecure and ThinkAI.
Yeah, that's wonderful. If you have any document or presentation on ThinkAI, you can go ahead and please share, and so that our audience can get know more about what ThinkAI does, and then why it is very important to secure what ThinkAI itself does, and how ThinkAI is helping the business.
Okay, sure. Give me a second. Sorry, I came pretty unprepared today. My Saturday syndrome kicks in, so I apologize. 1 second, I'm just gonna bring it up. Well, are you able to see my screen? I think you are.
Yes, I'm able to see your screen.
So I thought this is an appropriate context here to not just talk about the ThinkAI as in general, which I already did, but really talk about our data and AI capabilities. I'm a storyteller, so I'm gonna take it this like a story, and so bear with me. I want to start with a Mark Twain quote, which is pretty appropriate here. So, data is like garbage. I've been saying data is an asset, but it isn't garbage in a sense that if you need to know where to put it. Example, if you have malicious data, non-hygiene data, you don't want to consider as gold. You really want to keep it separate. Back to the point of cybersecurity. 80% of the business struggles with the data and the maturity of how to use data, what to do, and how to get the insights and actions of it. And eventually 55% have data silos due to they don't know how to manage the data. So we do excel in not only coaching, advising where your data is, what do you do with that data, how do you hygiene data, and then how do you take out the data silos and create data management solutions. These are some of the modern work challenges where you have large volume data, you have an issue with single version of truth, lack of insight on the decision making process, you don't govern the data. They live in a manufacturing world. They may be living in ERP or CRM or some public demographics. Scalability is an issue which is being getting solved with cloud, but not completely. And the topic for today is security and compliance. Example: HIPAA, HICER, GDPR, PCI, you name it, based on the industry. The value we provide is we get a faster and better analytics that should improve the performance per dollar, better decision making, and hopefully you have a better customer satisfaction and a modern data architecture. There are some use cases. We will go too deep, but I just want to talk about how. So people always ask, can you really do data AI? And when I'm saying AI, it's also generative AI in different industries. And these are some live examples we've been working with customers. So like packaging and glassware. Nobody would think how you would apply on data and AI especially. So we have that, and I welcome everybody who wants to connect with me and talk more onto this. I would love to connect. Furniture retail chain is another example. So some weird examples I took: auto part industry, food manufacturing. I just wanted to show these are our technology stack, but Microsoft Azure has lots of tools on data. And let me highlight something here. One second. So not highlight. Yeah, it's okay. So most people who have worked with Microsoft partners, who have Microsoft environment in place, they don't really consume and use the power of Office 365 platform provides. And one of the most obvious feature is Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Agent together called as Power Platform. And that's a great start. If you have data, this is where anybody can start. They can go and learn through Microsoft Learn channels and start implementing. If it's a bit complicated, we are there for you. We can come and help you. But this is where you can start on your own. And if it is a little more complex in nature, like OpenAI, which is generative AI, or more robust scalable data solutions, there are tools in the Microsoft world. So one of the myth is Microsoft has much more basic generic tool. That's not true. That's why the slide is talking about. There's this full scale data solutions and AI solutions that can be created using Azure Stack. There are some more technical capabilities I'm going to skip over. So this is one slide I want to explain how people can use full potential of data. It always starts with developing a data strategy. If you don't have one, if you have one, you need to choose the right technology and tool set, like what I was showing in the previous slide. Once you have that, people always like to talk about AI, but AI, the data is the foundation, hence the slide is talking about it. Now you are ready with the data. Once you have the data and the modernized data warehouse solutions, then you can create data science capabilities, get the tools ready, then create scenario-based AI services like generative AI examples I was talking about. And then once all this is done, then it becomes an advanced and analytical solution. This is what we also offer, all 5 layers. There's a maturity model. Most people know data is generally just a set of reports. That's not true. Data has a life cycle, data to insight to action, and that life cycle has a maturity model. When you start, you just have descriptive what happened, but it's just what happened. It doesn't give you much. Then you go in diagnose step when you use Power BI models type of technologies. But again, it only tells you why that happened. How to fix it, you don't know. Then you extrapolate using AI, and that becomes your predictive analytics. And then you prescribe in your applications like CRM, ERP, line of business. There's some examples of modern data architecture. That's it, what I have. Thank you so much. Dhaval, I would love to speak with you on our partner to partner engagement and any questions you have. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dave, for giving and say concise and overarching presentation that actually put everything in a right format. so that everyone would understand what actually AI is. Because today AI people think about just a chat GPT, but it's much
Correct.
beyond that. So thank you very much for explaining in detail.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now I would like to ask a couple of questions,
Sure.
starting from what do you think about the security challenges that someone like AI developer and companies who are more also working on the role of a system integrator faces, and how much those challenges you value in terms of the business preparedness?
Great question. So let's start from the journey of AI, right? And that will probably point all these challenges. So whenever people talk about AI, our potential customers, clients, developers, one of the education we give them is AI is not a siloed thing. Artificial intelligence sits on top of your company's data. Where your data come from really matters. It's not just what data is, right? So, and Dhaval, you understand better than I do. If you have on-premise environments, networks, you put firewalls, you put gateways, you put security channels, you save common ports and things like that. Back then, one example, if you have SQL Server, and if you always put it, which Microsoft does when you do a default installation for a developer, I think it puts it on 1433 port, I'm not too
Yeah.
sure. And one of the thing we always used to do is not use that port. Then later on, this was like early 90s and 2000, when the SQL Server was very famous. And Oracle, same thing, 1531 or 15 something, Oracle had the port. So we always change the port, number one. Number two, we block the reverse proxy, we put it so that people cannot just scan the network and things like that. So I'm trying to connect the dot between data and AI here, and also cybersecurity. So you need to know some of these things, have a right expert in place. So just don't start. But on-premise was still a little bit secure in a way that there were more people who can do things. Now with the invent of all the cloud solutions, especially platform as a service, software as a service, the marketing technique is just come and plug and play. Nobody tells you when you plug and play, you are working on a public network while it's secured with your IDs. Your IDs are hackable. You can do anything with it. Do you have MFA on it? Do you use certs and things like that? So for developers, those things are very important. Even if you are a custom .NET coder or a data BI Power App platform developer, if you're connecting through an API and getting some secure data, whether it's patient data, whether it's payment gateway data, you need to apply those things. That's one. Second, where you can really use the capability of AI is detecting different types of cyber frauds, detecting different anomalies and patterns and things like that. So set up your tools properly. Second, use the wise wisdom and knowledge. You can even use ChatGPT. I would advise it. ChatGPT is not an enemy. It's not a generic tool. If you know what's the right way to ask the question, a lot of that information can be given to you, and make use of it. So you should know how you take that journey from data from on-premise to the cloud to right tools to right security, right compliance, and then work on performance, scalability, consumption of that data. Hope that answered your question. I think I went into a long winding answer.
Yes, but it really was much, it was very good that you touch upon different aspects of the business, right? It's not just the generative AI part, but also understanding, your data, understanding the loopholes that at least you cover the basis, and then also about, people are normally today they have a worry that what if someone steals my data, what if someone misuses our AI account, so yes, it's much necessary to secure the basis. Technology is going to be there and it's going to be progressing every day. It's how you protect the endpoints, how you protect the access to the technology, And so that's why we always say that right access to the right people at right time, uh,
Mm-hmm.
that should be the goal for achieving your security readiness and business continuity. And with that, you touch upon the essential element of yes, you should not get afraid of using ChatGPT or other tools. It's just that you have to lay down a couple of policies and guidance for your user base, because there are ways you can, even stop the ChatGPT from sharing your data with other parties. Plus, RainbowSecure provides you with a comprehensive MFA login to log in into the ChatGPT. So, and again, your login is secure so that you don't have to worry about, hey, what if someone sees what questions I'm posing to the ChatGPT? All those search queries and chat history, because that's a valuable information when someone does a research, right? And if you someone exposes your research data, then you are done even before you are launching your product. So I think that was very essential elements you touch upon. Now, I would like to ask you further questions on your experience with healthcare and HIPAA, and what security challenges or what compliance challenges you have noticed in the industry.
Sure. Happy to talk about it. So in my past, I spent about 9 years with Johnson and Johnson. That taught me a lot of things. I didn't know much on healthcare compliance related stuff, and now there are different elements to it. Example, there are three major poles in healthcare: payer, provider, and pharmaceutical, like three P's. Now patient is at top, and healthcare, whether they are hospitals, they are surgical operations, labs, things like that, even physicians you are going to, everybody has your private data, whether you like it or not, they have it. So now, if those are not securing this world, and this world is changing, and I will give one example that came to me through a reference, a live example of cybersecurity issues today. It's the safest technology which people talk about. But going back to healthcare, patients, their social security is out there, their all address changes are out there, their physical connections with people with health conditions, diseases, everything is out there. And that's why a lot of compliance are out there, which is HIPAA, HICERT, things like that. Those have certain ground rules and things like that. If you know Dhaval, you know it better. Unless you do thorough auditing, it's not possible to know if you are out of HIPAA compliance. It's very difficult. AI is a great friend here again, because if you lay out the right policy and procedures, you still need someone like you who can define the sets of rules and things like that. Example, if you're sending data, patient data, you can send data, patient data to generative AI. That's a radical thinking if people will hear that. But yeah, you can, because the old concept, I say old because it's been there for some time. You can de-anonymize the data, you can take out all the IDs, you can make it generic, because you're not really learning about that particular patient and the person, you are really learning about his physical observations, behavior patterns, and what the other examples will tell you about that,
Yeah.
right? Same thing can go for lawyer or your CPA, they can all anonymize your data. So that layer through security can be put in, and that's where the compliance plays the right role and AI plays the right role. And now you can use AI on one more thing. You can find out if there are breaches and gaps that is happening, and it can be very predictive in nature. It can, if that is happening, it will start alerting and start locking your environment. And those are some of the precautions can be taken. Again, chat gpt and AI technologies are your friend, but you need to have the right consultants to set up your foundation. Don't start on your own, I would highly advise that. Not because of our business, but really for the safety of your own data and environment. It's the currency that you want to save. You don't want to treat it like a garbage, like Mark Twain said. So that's the healthcare example. I want to touch upon one example through one of my friends. So blockchain today considered as the safest technology. There's like DeFi, decentralized wallets, which is a Web3 wallet. But guess what? These are decentralized. And while blockchain is very secured, people can still hack your data, take your money away, and there is no regulations there today. People are trying to regulate AI. I would say regulate finance more than AI, because that's the real money which is floating around. And there also, how do you really identify the scams if your money is being scammed, whether you're personal user or the business user? And when all these deregulations are happening, which people like, I like regulations, but if you like deregulations, be aware deregulations brings a lot of risk at you on these scammers and hackers. So be aware on what link you click. Dhaval, we talked about it. We had
Yes.
an incident at, while we are very knowledgeable, I can very transparently talk about it. Somebody started hacking as me because I've been speaking on public platforms, and they started tricking my team in India. And I was flying at the time, and they literally knew when I was flying, where I was flying, and who I was talking to. And you and I talked about it. I was at the airport, and I think they took the security token. So you were thinking, well, I have an MFA and I have a secured this and that, but still the information can be hacked. So you had to go to anonymized logins. Same thing for patient, go for anonymized data. Same thing for healthcare or finance or manufacturing. See what precautions you can take when you take care of your data, which is your currency.
Yes, yes, very much informative. Yeah, yeah, very much informative. Yeah. Now we can touch upon a couple of aspects of our relationship and different project we are working on, so that the listeners can get idea about how they can approach us when they have any situation like and how they can actually make their business grow with the help of all the things that we do together.
Sure. And Deval, my partner, unfortunately, he is not here. Manish is a champion of building good relationship with people. He's very consistent. One of the things Dhaval and I did together is we got connected. Manish connected us. We got connected for a client. It's a startup company. They were dealing with patient payments in cash, meaning doesn't go through the insurance, so that some of the doctors like to do that. So they were creating a platform, and the platform was sitting in someone's server, and that server was like a machine by itself, and that gave me chills when we started taking over. So we started talking about that. I don't know much on cybersecurity. This much I know, and this is not the right environment when you want to build a solution for patient. And they were not live, so don't get me wrong. They were not really losing. But if you take that live, that's the problem you're gonna face. Anybody will come in. There is something called war drivers, right? They generally drive and look at your local internet Wi-Fi connections, and they'll just hack your information. That's something good to know from Dhaval, also how you can secure your personal network. But back to partners, we started using each other properly. So I said, Dhaval, let's create this certified solution together. And so we can certify all the security aspects when we build a solution, but what is beyond that, which we don't know, from compliance to other security threats, and where RainbowSecure can come into the picture. So that's how we started our relationship, and their team started to use us or help us on our environment setup. But the good way to start is have these conversations. You would not believe or know that you do need security aspects in your solution. Same thing goes on the data. If you are doing Dynamics 365 as an example, we can come in as a data and AI champion, while Dhaval can come in as a cybersecurity champion. So partnerships are a great way to upscale, cross scale the services which you don't already have, and it's a win-win for all. Customer has one-stop solution to create whole holistic solution and provide, and be peaceful with what they got, and partners can thrive on the best that they have. So Dhaval, I probably will not go and create a Power BI solution and say, okay, I'll pull the same thing here. I will pull Dhaval on the cybersecurity part. So I would encourage anyone to connect with two of our company when you have an option there, and we'll see how we can help you and your customers. So that's one way we are connecting.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dave, for highlighting both the compliance, the partner relationship, and how essentially, whether it's a new startup or whether it's the existing business that want to grow with the modern technologies, and now they know that where to go and what we can do for them. Thank you very much again for coming onto the platform. And I like to say that we'll have the relationship and dimensions of it were expanding. RainbowSecure is creating a collaborative environment where partners come together, leverage each other's strength, and help the business. So once again, thank you for joining at RainbowSecure Cyber Symposium 2023, and it was great honor for us and our listeners to listen to your thoughts and experience. Thank you.
Likewise, and thank you, Dhaval and Rainbow Secure, for inviting me. Have a great weekend and Saturday.
Yeah, have a great weekend to the listeners as well. Yes.